So today I'm in Setauket at the graveyard of the Presbyterian Church in Setauket. Now, if you have ever watched the show Turn, you might be familiar with Setauket. Uh, it's the site of where the Coupler spy ring had taken place, where they discovered that Benedict Arnold was a traitor, and that information had come from the city and brought out here. And Anna Strong had given the message to Caleb Brewster, who brought it over to Benjamin Talmadge in Connecticut, who brought it to Washington's attention. But today I wanted to talk about a loyalist, right, who is buried a few yards away from one of the most prominent figures in Setauket history, Abraham Woodhull, whose grave I will talk about at another time. But so Benjamin Floyd, who is a cousin of William Floyd, who signed the Declaration of Independence, him and his brother Richard Floyd IV were prominent loyalists. Now, he signed a loyalty oath to the Royal Governor of New York. And if you remember, yesterday I had filmed Henry Hudson, not the explorer, but a young man who did take part in the later part of the war in the Suffolk County militia. He is actually buried, allegedly, among a man named Frederick Hudson, who, with him and another man, were prominent loyalists of the community and had signed a loyalty oath. Now, what makes this interesting is that his brother, Richard Floyd IV, right, was one of the only people in Suffolk County, if not the only, to have officially had his lands confiscated by the New York State and was banned and exiled from New York State. He ended up settling in New Brunswick, Canada, and on pain of death if he returned to the colony, the state. But Benjamin was able to fade into obscurity despite being a wealthy landowner, despite being from a prominent family whose cousin actually signed the Declaration of Independence, and he had signed a loyalty oath. He was actually the Brookhaven town supervisor in 1777. He was named a colonel. He helped organize people into being loyalists, signing a loyalty oath to Britain and to the king. But he faded into obscurity. And as I had mentioned, Frederick Hudson, whose grave site is allegedly in Oliver's Hill, and I had filmed his relative, Henry Hudson, yesterday. He's allegedly buried in Oliver's Hill, but the grave site is yet to be found. But this is this is Benjamin Floyd, and he's buried in the churchyard here in Setauket at the Presbyterian Church. What makes this interesting is that if you know a little bit about the history of Setauket, is that this churchyard, this church, was actually considered the Patriot Church, and across the way is the Episcopal Church, which was considered the Loyalist Church. Here I am in the Setauket Village Green. Across the way from me, this is the Presbyterian Church, the Setauket Presbyterian Church. Now that structure actually only dates back to 1812, but the original church that was on this property dated back to 1660. So this is the churchyard. Behind this church is where the Revolutionary War patriot Abraham Woodhull is buried, and as I just mentioned in this video, it's where the loyalist Benjamin Floyd is buried. Now, as you can see, just across the way, behind me, in the other direction, is another church, and that is the Episcopal Church. Now, at the time, the church that I just showed you, the Presbyterian Church, was considered the Patriot Church, and Colonel Benjamin Talmadge, his father was a preacher here, and over there was the Episcopal Church, and that was considered more loyalist. If you know about the history of the churches, the Presbyterian Church is affiliated or was affiliated with the Church of Scotland, and the Episcopal, the Church of England. That doesn't really probably doesn't make a difference as far as your faith and what church you went to, but that was, the times, and it just shows you that at this time it really was brother against brother. There was a battle that was fought here on the village green in 1777, and that churchyard was made into a fort by the Loyalists in this area when the Patriots came across the Sound and tried to take Setauket.